I feel the spirit moving in me. I feel the spirit moving in me.
I was having a tough time. I was in a difficult place, and I was struggling with God, with Spirit. And I was standing in my living room, and somehow all this stuff hit me, of some of the challenges that I had in my life. Losing my parents early. At the time, I was struggling financially. I was struggling with my job. I was struggling with who I was. And I looked up and I said, okay, God, we need to talk. We need to talk, and I want to talk to you today. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot of stuff on your mind, but I'd like to make an appointment to talk with you at 5 o'clock today. And I'm going to be right here at 5 o'clock, and I expect that you're going to be there. So here's kind of what my dining room looked like. And you see I got a little placemat there for God, and I got one for Blaine. So 5 o'clock came, and I sat down at my table, and God was there. I could feel the presence, and I was like all of a sudden, all of this feeling and this anger and this disappointment came on me like a cloud. And I stood up, and I just let God have it. I said everything that I could think of. How could you do this to me? Who do you think you are? And I'm just like going off on this guy, and I'm saying stuff to God that you can never imagine, right? I am swearing, I am cussing. Every four-letter word that I knew was coming out, and I was telling this beingness, this God, how angry I am and how upset I was that all of this is happening in my life. I did that for about 20 minutes until I was emotionally exhausted. And I sat down, and an amazing thing happened. In that moment, I felt so much peace. I felt so much love. It's like, wow. In that moment, I realized that God is not a person. God is not up on a cloud. God is not condemning. It's like, wow, in my living room, at that place, I felt all this love and all this connection and all this passion and all this really love and devotion for the presence of God that is everywhere in the universe. It was like I felt this light. Have you ever felt like this light come over you where you just feel like you're so connected and there's just so much joy? So today, we're going to talk about the path of devotion and practicing Bhakti Yoga. So what is devotion to you? Imagine that the path of devotion is a journey. It's not just something that happens in your mind, but it's something that happens in our heart. It's a journey towards spiritual liberation. And I hope that you'll take this journey with me today and that you'll open your heart and your mind to experiencing this journey, this devotion to the essence of God, the essence of Spirit, the essence of Krishna that is everywhere present. You know, when we talk about devotion, I think that of all the people that I've read, I think Rumi probably says it the best. Rumi wrote, My soul is screaming in ecstasy. Every fiber of my being is in love with you. My effulgence has lit a fire in my heart, and you have made radiant for me the earth and the sky. My arrow of love has arrived at the target. I am in the house of mercy, and my heart is in a place of prayer. Wow. Are you ready? Are you willing to go to that place? Because I promise you, if you go to this place of devotion, it's going to change your relationship with the presence, with the universe, with spirit, and it will change your life. And Bhakti Yoga is a spiritual path within Hinduism focused on loving devotion towards a personal divinity. It emphasizes the cultivation of a deep, heartfelt relationship with the divine, leading to spiritual growth and enlightenment, into realization, into self-realization. You know, I discovered in the process of writing this talk that Bhakti Yoga is a gem in the world of spiritual practices. We can think of it as your heart reaching out and connecting with something far greater than you are. But it also includes you. It's like turning into a frequency that's always been there, but we just quite haven't dialed in that station before. Do you know what I mean? And what makes Bhakti Yoga so special is it's simple. It's the simplicity of it. You don't need to be a scholar. You don't need to be a hermit. All you need is love. All you need is love for the divine. It's like falling in love, but this time, falling in love with a force that holds the universe together. This love is so pure. It's unconditional. And at the same time, it's transformative. When we walk the path of Bhakti Yoga, we start to see the world in a new light. It's like wearing glasses that make everything clearer and more vibrant. Our actions, our thoughts, and our words begin to align with this love. Isn't that what you want? To embrace, to embody this love of the universe. You know, it's not about rituals or ceremonies, but it's about the love that flows through them. It's like finding the rhythm in the music of life. Can you feel that? To be so a part of this rhythm of life, of this music, that you are one with it, that it embraces you, it encompasses you. Now, here's the heart of it. As we deepen this devotion, as we deepen this connection, we start to shed the layers of ego. It's kind of like peeling an onion, right? That ego, that pesky sense of I or mine, and that starts to take a back seat. And we begin to see ourselves as part of the grand scheme of the universe, as like a divine play. And what a relief that is, to finally have that realization that we are one, that you are one with this divine source. It's kind of like, you know, taking off a backpack that has 50 pounds of weights in it, and you didn't even know you had it. But you take it off, and you feel free. In Bhakti Yoga, they talk about surrender, and we're familiar with that term. Now, this isn't about losing control. That's what often we think about when we think about surrender. It's like, I'm going to lose something. I'm going to lose control. But actually, it's about trust. It's about trusting the divine. It's about trusting the universe. It's about trusting the higher power. It's kind of like dancing in the rain, knowing that you're part of something bigger, something that's boundless and beautiful. And as we surrender and devote ourselves, something magical happens. Do you know what that is? It's our daily word for today. We become free. We experience freedom. It's not the freedom to do whatever we want. It's the freedom from fear. It's the freedom from worry. It's the freedom from the endless chatter of the mind. It's kind of like looking within and finding a still lake, a still peaceful lake inside of us where we can see our true reflection. Bhakti Yoga just isn't a path. It's really an invitation. It's an invitation to love at a deeper level than perhaps you've ever done it before. And in this loving surrender, we find liberation because we discover the truth of who we are. You discover the truth of who you are. It's not just of the spirit, but it's of the heart. It's a journey that turns life into a divine scene, a divine dance. So, as we step forward in our lives, let's carry the essence of bhakti with us. And we're going to talk today about how we can do that. What are the practices that we can do to experience that? It's about loving a little more. It's about trusting a little more. And opening ourselves to experience the freedom of who you are. Isn't that a dance worth learning? So why would we want to practice Bhakti Yoga, you might say? Because we want to practice a devotion to this higher power. Because, as I mentioned earlier, transformation is going to come from this relationship. And Bhakti Yoga, it's interesting, Bhakti Yoga reshapes our internal landscape, right? To me, it seems like it's similar between neuroscience, right? Neuroscience is, as we understand it, is about changing our neural pathways, right? So that we change our perception and we see life in a different way. Now, neuroscience wasn't a thing back in the days when Bhakti Yoga became popular, but Bhakti Yoga, in the same way, transforms our thoughts, right? Because devotion to a higher power instills a sense of hope and possibility when we trust in a greater possibility and we open ourselves to generous guidance. Right? When we trust so much and open to this divine presence, all of a sudden you will find that you receive guidance in your life that you didn't know was there. On top of that, Bhakti Yoga teaches us inner peace because we do practices like meditation and prayer, and we do that as part of our devotion to this presence. And when we do that, any of you who meditate know that it helps to relieve stress, doesn't it? And to really connect with this presence of this, with the higher power, we need to be relaxed. Doesn't happen so great when we're feeling stressed. And also, this devotion, this path of devotion, encourages us to look beyond our concerns and the ego-driven desires. And it opens our perspective to seeing things in a different way, fostering a more expansive view of life and a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. Now, you might imagine, remember we've been talking about Arjuna, and we talked about how Arjuna is on the battlefield, right? He has to fight his family. He has to fight his friends. He has to fight his teachers, right? And he is told by Krishna that he has to do this because he is the only one that has the skills, the wisdom, and the knowledge to do this. But Arjuna is conflicted by this. He feels horrible having to kill his cousins, his brothers and sisters, his family, his friends. And there's a time on the battlefield where he's just crushed. And Krishna, his charioteer, the driver of his chariot, who is, by the way, just no ordinary charioteer, because Krishna symbolizes the divine, right? Krishna symbolizes the Christ. Krishna symbolizes the allness of the universe. And Krishna says to Arjuna, stand, come here, and look at me. And Krishna does an amazing thing. It's like he just makes the decision in his mind that it's time for a big reveal. This is the moment in Arjuna's life that Krishna has been waiting for, to show him something amazing. And he moves his hands as if he's opening his gown, and he says, Arjuna, look here. And Krishna shows Arjuna his Visharupa, which is his universal form. The most astonishing, jaw-dropping light show that you can have ever seen. And multiply any light show you've ever seen, I don't know, by a gazillion times. And this is what Krishna shows him. In the form of Krishna, it's like nothing you've ever seen, nothing you could dream up. He's got countless faces, eyes that see in every direction, and mouths that speak truth of the ages. It's like looking at the universe with all its stars, with all its galaxies and mysteries. But it's all packed into a single bit, into Krishna, into his magnificent form. And the colors, they're bright, like 1,000 suns, all rising at once. It's so brilliant. It's overwhelming. So overwhelming that Arjuna, our brave warrior, is utterly stunned. Arjuna sees himself in the past. He sees himself in the present. He sees himself in the future, all woven together in this cosmic dance. He sees life. He sees death. He sees creation. He sees destruction, all happening in the form of Krishna. This is not just a static picture, by the way. It's an evolving, moving, throbbing image, and was showing the energy of life. It's as if Krishna is saying, Arjuna, look. This is what really is. It's vast. It's complex. It's terrifying. And it's beautiful all at the same time. So what's the takeaway for us? It's like Krishna is showing us that the divine, the universe, or whatever you want to call it, is so much more than our limited perceptions of it. It's about blowing the lid off our small ways of seeing the world and realizing there's a vast, incredible reality out there. And guess what? You are part of it. Arjuna sees himself emulating the qualities of the divine, such as unconditional love, compassion. He sees himself leading others to act more empathetically, to act more kindly. He sees himself and others living ethically and with selfless service. Arjuna sees himself living with a profound sense of meaning and purpose. He realizes that this devotion to Krishna, his spiritual path, offers an understanding that life is not random, but is guided by a higher wisdom and purposeful action. He sees that his goals and aspirations are transcending material achievements. He sees himself focused on his spiritual growth and enlightenment, working towards the betterment of humanity. Arjuna sees himself finding strength and resilience in the face of life's challenges. He sees his challenges as opportunities for growth, thus finding ways to persevere and stay motivated. In summary, like Arjuna, our devotion to a higher power reshapes our internal landscape, altering thought patterns, guiding actions towards greater goodness, and providing a profound sense of meaning and direction in our lives. This transformation is deeply personal and varies from one of us to another, depending on our beliefs, our experiences, and the nature of devotion that we have to the higher power. We must prepare ourselves to experience the fullness of this higher power. And it takes work, it takes dedication, it takes striving for it. You know, somebody said to me this week, I was explaining to somebody about this, what I was talking about on Sunday, and they said, you know, Blaine, all that spiritual gobbledygook doesn't work. I've read this, I've read that, I've done all the work. And it dawned on me, yeah, I understand that. But the spiritual journey that we are on, if we really want it to be effective in our lives, we have to keep at it, right? You can't just do it for a couple of years and, man, it's over with, I got it, right? And this person was saying, this is just a bunch of junk, all this spiritual gobbledygook. And I know, I've discovered for myself that it takes constant work, doesn't it? It's like the path is about constantly opening up to the universe. And we get past this challenge and that challenge and some other challenge, and then something else comes along that tests our core, and we get to begin again and apply the principles. So how can we dedicate ourselves to devotion so that we can experience the fullness that Arjuna showed to us? So I've got 5 transformative practices to develop devotion to a higher power. So the first one is to spend time journaling, to spend time being grateful, right? And I would suggest that every day you write down 3 things that you're grateful for. It's part of my practice to say what I'm grateful for every day. And I invite you to do that, or to actually write them down and someplace where you can see them and remember them. You know, it's well known that when we are grateful, we open ourselves up to the abundance of the universe, right? Being grateful is an energy that we open ourselves to, and it attracts more of the things that we're grateful for to us. So start gratitude journaling. And the second thing we can do is to have mindful moments, right? That throughout your day, to just take a pause anytime and engage in whatever it is that you're experiencing. If you're having a meal, just really stop and taste the food. If you're having a conversation with somebody, really be present to them. Take it all in. Feel love for them. Feel love for yourselves. And, you know, as we cultivate these mindful moments, we recognize that these are all connections with the divine, right? So if you're talking with somebody, behold the divine in them and just really open yourself to experience that divine nature that they are. And the next thing we can do is to do random acts of kindness. And you know, and that could be so simple. It could be about giving somebody a compliment, or it could be saying something nice to a neighbor, or donating to a charity, or offering a supportive word to someone who is hurting. And these actions and all of this, we do these things because they reflect the benevolence of a higher power, right? And help us to be a part of these divine qualities, to embody these things. And this is really what we're doing. Our journey is really to embody the love in the universe. And all of them strengthen our devotion. Another thing we can do is to spend time in daily reflection or meditation. And just to dedicate a few moments every day to sit and reflect on how grateful you are, how amazing your life is, how beautiful it is wherever you are. And just take time to just be there and to enjoy that. Again, this is about connecting with the divine essence within ourselves and nurturing a profound devotion to this higher power. I like what Paul wrote in 1 Thessalonians 5:16. He said, "Be joyful always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." I love that. And, you know, and I like to think that, you know, Paul isn't just talking that Jesus would like this, right? He's saying that the universe, that spirit, that the allness desires for you to be happy and to be joyful. And the fifth thing we can do is to chant or sing some meaningful phrases. And this could even be, you know, reading from Rumi or Hafiz or whatever inspires you. And I think I love the idea of singing or chanting. Somebody said that when we sing, we're praying twice. Yeah, and so we will do a little bit more of that today. But just really spend time and to think of your chanting time as devotion time. By being devoted to the essence of truth that's within you. Being one with the universe. When we do these things and we incorporate these things into our lives, can profoundly shift our perspective, guiding us to this devotion of the highest power, which we're a part of. I love what Krishna said. I don't know if I have a slide for this. I do. Krishna said, and he's speaking from not the charioteer so much, but he's speaking as the divine. And he says, to those constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. He's saying that by practicing devotion to this divine energy, we open ourselves to experience the fullness of life and to experiencing this divine understanding, this truth that's available to us. This powerful promise illuminates a path that is woven with the golden threads of love. Love for the creation, love for one another. It's a journey that begins and flourishes with heartfelt devotion. This love, when expressed through our service to the sacred essence in all beings, becomes a lens through which we see beyond the superficial into the radiant core of oneness that binds us. Bhakti Yoga is an open invitation to immerse ourselves in the richness of the presence, of the present, to embrace each unfolding moment as an opportunity brimming with possibilities. When we bring the spirit of devotion into our everyday actions, every action becomes a worship. Every action becomes a prayer. This is not just living. This is living divinely. By infusing even the most mundane moments with faith, awe, and gratitude, we amplify the divine presence to such an extent that it reveals itself in all its glory, showing us the magnificent sacred self that shines within everything. So let's let our guiding light shine as we walk the path of Bhakti Yoga, a journey that's not just of devotion, but a journey of discovering the divine in everything and even in ourselves. My devotion opens me to seeing the divine in everything. Say that with me. My devotion opens me to seeing the divine in everything.
We all need a little mic in our life. So as I will chant Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Nama Om, which is an acknowledgement of Lord Shiva, the auspicious one, right? Lord Shiva is here. It's acknowledging the divine within. I'll chant it, and let's do this like a call and response, is what I'm trying to say. I'll sing, you sing, I'll sing, until we're done, which is, I don't know how long that'll be. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Nama Om. Shivaya, Shivaya Nama Om. Om Namah 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 Shivaya, Shivaya Nama Om. Shivaya Nama Om. Hold on.
Breathing in and breathing out. I invite you to take a journey. To take a journey into the essence that you are, into that divine space within you, that place of love, that place of joy and peace. Breathing in and breathing out. Can you remember a time when you felt so connected to the presence of love? To that expansiveness within you? Breathing in and allowing yourself to feel the allness. To imagine that you are part of this universal consciousness. That you are one with all life. Breathing in. Breathing out. And allow yourself to go even deeper. Journeying into your essence. Seeing yourself as a beacon of light in the universe. See yourself filled with understanding and truth. And imagine that you're Krishna, you're Christ, your Buddha nature is showing you your essence. Your wisdom, your love, your truth, your journey, your strengths. And let's just rest for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. Giving thanks for this journey, for this path of dedication and love. Breathing in and breathing out. And I invite you to begin to bring your awareness back to this moment. To become aware of this room and this gentle music and the love that is here. As you open your eyes. And so it is.
And it was exciting to see Om Namah Shivaya up there on the screen, because that was one of the first chants and blessings that I learned when I started down my spiritual path in Southern California. And all the Reiki and rebirthers and the LRT. And in Southern California, a lot of the people there were originally Jewish, but they were attracted to the Eastern religions. So we called them Hindus. And, they had names like Shakti Shapiro and Gayatri Goldberg. And that was the crowd I grew up with. And instead of Om Namah Shivaya, they chanted Oya Namah Shivaya, which means I surrender to the infinite source. What are you going to do? So that was special, and it still is. So now we move along to the offering time, and this is where you can expand your conscious of meeting all your needs by becoming a giver. And this is how we prime the spiritual pump and practice the law of circulation. And when you give, you are enforcing your consciousness by affirming that you have something to give. When you believe and know that you have, something more comes to you. So it's part of the flow. It's acknowledging that there's an infinite source that's got your back and contributing it out and knowing that it comes back. So you can donate to Unity on Maui by going to our website at unityofmaui.org. There's a nice handy donate button there. You can also send your offerings by mail. That address is on the website. So if you feel inclined to go old school and mail a check, that's good too. And we give thanks for all the gifts that are coming into Unity. And so we know they're transformed into our ministry, our staff, equipment, new technologies, and all manners of ways that Spirit is expressing through us to grow and be of greater service to humanity at this time in history. And we catch the feeling and the tone that all of our desires are met. We know that that is so. And so we say our offertory prayer. So if you'd like to hold whatever you feel like donating today, or if just your consciousness, just your support and your love for this ministry. And together we say, through a grateful, giving heart, my mind and life overflow with the abundance of God's all-providing infinite supply. So there are going to be some baskets going around. Robin will give us a few tunes here as we go. We're grateful to receive these blessings of monetary offerings, and we turn around and tithe 10% of this towards what gives us spiritual nourishment. And so we continue in the flow and in the circle of abundance and funding. And we just gratefully receive that. We thank you, and we are honored to give our gifts regardless. And we are grateful for what helps us continue to give these gifts, to keep the lights on, the music playing, and all of those wonderful things. So with great gratitude, we receive this and know that it goes forth to do good things for Maui and for the consciousness of man. Thank you. All right, announcement time. Let's see, as always, if you would like to bring flowers, there's a sign-up sheet on the table back there. So if you would like to bring flowers some Sunday, just sign on up. You can dedicate them to whoever you would like, and you even get to take the flowers home when you're done. So such a deal. All right, upcoming events. On Saturday, February 17th, Carrie Sawyer is going to be back with that sound bath meditation. And if the Om Namah Shivaya didn't give you chills up your spine, then her sound bath and bowls should certainly do that. So that's always a joyous thing to listen to and to feel those vibrations. And no charge, but of course, but donations are welcome. And if you're young and flexible, you could bring a yoga mat, or if you're a normal human being, there'll be seats here and you can sit here and enjoy the show. But you young, flexible people, you just go do whatever you like. All righty. And let's see. Oh, it's jazz night coming up. And let's see here. Mary Ann Anderson is going to be performing with Jeff Hellner and Paul January for a jazz night. It's going to happen at the Empanada Lady, which is right over here in Wailuku, La Familia, for those of you that are really old school. And that's on Vineyard Street in Wailuku, Empanada Lady. And that's coming up on Saturday, February 10th. From 6 to 8. So Saturday, February 10th, 6 to 8. And it says Robin Easter Choir in here. So maybe you can tell us about that, Reverend Blaine, as well as... Even better. Okay. Hey, what a concept. It's just written in here. So, hey, Robin, what's up with this Easter choir thing here?
Well, Easter is early this year. It's the last Sunday in March. And I want to gather up anybody who wants to sing with me. And I've got some ideas about what we're going to sing. I haven't made all my decisions yet, but I have some ideas. And we'll gather up Marianne and Ames and the music team and put together a really fun musical Easter Sunday. We will start rehearsing. So they're kind of early, but we'll start rehearsing probably the first Sunday of March. So that gives us 4 Sundays. And there's a sign up back there, so let me know you're interested. Put your email and phone number. There'll be 2 Sundays. I wanted to get that out there, though. I'll be here next week, but there'll be 2 Sundays this coming month where I'll be gone. But then I'll be back. And so, yeah, please let me know. And we'll have some fun. It's going to be fun. That's a requirement.
Thank you, Robin. That should be awesome. And speaking of fun, Reverend Blaine is going to continue to tell us these interesting stories from the Gita and how they apply to our life in the present. And I don't think anybody's better to tell us about that than the man himself. So I'll let him take it from here.
Excellent. Let's give Adam a big hand for helping us out on the platform today. It's always fun to hand the mic over to him. You never know quite what's going to come out of his mouth. But it's always good stuff and always gets us connected with our silly Krishna within. And so if you enjoyed the talk today, my walkie talk is on the back table, and it's a page and a half today, so you're certainly going to get your spiritual fulfillment taken care of. And I list all of the steps that I offer you as a way of following the path of Bhakti Yoga, of devotion. So that's in the back. And next week, I'm continuing this journey from the Bhagavad you got me saying it now. Why did we stumble over it? Oh, from the Gita. And it's really about the path of Jnana Yoga, which is the path of self-knowledge. So we're going to look at how the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna illuminates wisdom. And we're going to look at what wisdom can we gather, in addition to what we've already received from the Gita, what additional wisdom can we gain to understand these timeless principles and really put into practicality our ability to see the union or the unity between all things. And it's really going to help us glimpse at our life and reflect on what are some of the truths that are cutting edge for us, and how can we embrace them, embody them to be more of this divine essence. So that'll be happening next week, right here at 10 o'clock. All right, well, let's see. I don't know if you're doing this part or am I doing this part?
Hey, but can I just say one more thing?
All right, you all good with Robin saying one more thing?
First, you don't need to have a lot of experience or be a fabulous singer to join the choir. If you'd love to sing, join. And the second thing I want to say is look up Linda Waterfall's music, because I think that, what I did today was a taste, and if you hear the recorded version of it, it'll make you fall off your chair. So I just want to encourage you to do that, okay? So. Thank you.
And she has YouTube videos, I'm sure.
Yeah, look at her website. It talks about her, and she's got YouTube videos. There's some live concerts too and stuff. So.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't we stand and kind of start working your way into a circle. How would that be?
Okay. Oh, we're doing that now? Okay.
Yeah, why not? We'll try something different. Oh, so as we form a circle, and we'll hold hands in just a moment. In the meantime, I invite you
musical
just to
circling music.
Circle up, be present.
Okay.
And let's pray together and affirm together the prayer for protection, which begins. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Thank you for being here today.
Where I live, they're all raised.